Thank you for joining us on Black Investments Matter. I'm Antoine Anderson. It's housekeeping time here. We're going to check up on the health of our subscriptions, what we need and what we don't need. It's always a good idea and best practice to check those statements monthly, if not weekly, just to make sure you're not getting hit for fees, charges, or drafts from things that you innocently enough got into, but you just really don't need anymore. It is one of the most annoying things is to come up against a $5 charge, a $7 charge, a $15 charge for something coming out of your bank account. And I don't care how much money you make. When you see those charges nickel and diming you at the end of the month and you see that those nickels and dimes start to make dollars, yeah, it might be time to do a cleanup. And that's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to go through some steps that everybody should be doing when it comes to keeping your financial house in order. All right. And then we're going to focus primarily on those subscription fees for those subscription services that we may or may not have, or I definitely have. And it is one of those eye opening, aha, this is where my money went. Now, when we're talking about subscriptions, I'm generally putting a lot of time and a lot of money into my streaming services. I have so many of those things that it's gotten to the point where, once you get over $100 in streaming services, and that's on top of your internet subscription service, um, yeah, you might want to cut back on that TV and use those dollars elsewhere. So the first step that I do is get a list together. Sit down, pull out your statements, go through your statements, and look at everything that's coming off. It may be an aha moment for you too. By the time I got to $135 a month for TV, non-cable TV, it's time to do some serious soul searching. There are a lot of things that I like to watch on television, a lot of services that I get into, but never gonna get that serious. That's $135 a month out of everybody's budget, out of your budget that is going to something that you may not even touch that month. So, first things first, get that list together. All right. Second, after you get that list together, check those statements and see how much is being drawn. Now, a lot of times those statements are going to have not so um, descriptive names associated to those drafts. You might have to do some research. I had a couple on there. They it would say Google, but it was actually a Google payment that I set up from Google Pay. Or same thing with my PayPal. It'll say PayPal something, but it won't be a very descriptive thing. So you would have to go back, check your apps, and say, "Oh, okay, well, this costs about $5.99 a month. It must be referring to this." It's a process of elimination. So go through your statements and get all those services in one column, put them in a spreadsheet, and then put the amounts that you're paying per month for those services. Now, after you get your list together, do a quick tally and see how much you are really drawing out of this thing. When you get that final number, whatever it is, look at your budget, look at what you think that service is providing for you. Is it something that you can live without or do without? And then it's time to do some soul searching. Um, Definitely time to look and see if there are things out there that you can just turn around. These are quick ways to really turn your budget around. I've already identified 4 or 5 that I'm going to be getting rid of on off of my list that you see here. But at the same time, you wonder how you got yourself into the situation. Don't beat yourself up about it because the next step is to now execute and show some discipline. Go ahead and pull the plug on these things. Do not allow another month to go by where you're giving away $100 or more dollars for entertainment purposes that you may not even be looking at. Now, a word on those subscription service cancellation apps that we download. Those too cost money. Usually a $5 or $6 subscription. What I have found in my dealings with a particular app, I'm not going to throw any shade on them. I'm not going to list them here, but most cases they're not going to be able to shut down a particular service that you've got. In my case, it was Showtime that I was trying to get rid of. Didn't want to watch it no more. No diss against Showtime. It's just it's time to go. And this particular app sent me a message saying that, oh, you'd have to contact Showtime. Well, that's not what I bought the subscription cancellation app for, right? So if I've got to go out to it, why am I paying you? All right. Then when it came time to cancel that app, I ran into the same problem. I could not cancel the app. So I ended up canceling the card that app was being paid off of. And that was a quick fire way to stop that service and that draft. There is currently some legislation on the in Congress right now going around with subscription reform, following the Amazon Prime lawsuit that was filed or settlement that was made. Basically, these companies are making it harder and harder for you to cancel these subscriptions. So that's why it's so important for you to go ahead, do some housekeeping, and chime in by just voting with your feet. Get those dollars, get them people out your pocket, and it will make a world of difference in your life. Um, I'm Antoine Anderson, and if you've watched this to the end of this video, I want to thank you for joining us. Hit the like and subscribe button on the bottom of this page for more tips like this, and let's kind of grow our wealth together by not spending so much. Thank you for joining us. Have a good day.